want to watch that interview in totality, it is live on our YouTube channels, that is on Spice FM. Now, Africa's second largest oxbow lake, Lake Kanyaboli, is on the verge of drying up following the collapse of a dike that separates it from the vast Yala swamp. Water from the lake has been draining into the swamp while flowing to Lake Victoria, and now the local residents are calling on the government to move with speed and restore the dike. Bramwell Bwire reports.
Lake Kanyaboli is the second largest oxbow lake in Africa, formed after River Yala, disconnected from its course at the meander stage, leaving behind a U-shaped lake. In the late 1960s, a dike was first constructed on the banks of Lake Kanyaboli, the dike acting as a retention dike to help reclaim the Yala swamp for agricultural activities.
When the first reclamation was done in 1968 by the Netherlands people, they made this dike. It was acting, or even now it is acting, as a retention dike, hindering water from Lake Kanyaboli from entering into the swamp.
Occasionally, when the outlet that drains excess water out of Lake Kanyaboli is blocked, the dike is broken, forcing the waters to look for an alternative route. That is the current situation, and the effects are grave.
Tulikuwa tumelima hapo ndani tukitegemea hizo mimea kwa sababu ya kutukimu katika hali ya maisha. Hizo mashamba zote zimekulwa.
So it has really affected kids, especially in the lower classes. Tasaizi watoto wengi ambao wanatoka katika hizo sehemu wanafika hapa pengine kitu saa 3 na kuendelea mbele. So it has really affected the learning.
It has created an environmental and human disaster downstream, both in Budalangi, where nearly 2 wards have been submerged underwater. Schools, farms, they are all underwater, and we were there yesterday.
With the lake now draining very fast due to the broken dike, leaders are appealing to the national government to dispatch the National Youth Service and the military as the only hope for immediate intervention, failure to which it generates to a big catastrophe.
Lake Aggrove has responded by bringing in machinery. We've had to hire trucks because we don't have sufficient equipment ourselves, and I'm very encouraged to hear that some support may be forthcoming from other areas.
This thing, the counties are unable to do it on their own. So all government agencies involved, we are calling them for immediate remedial measures, which we have said is to block this place and regulate the flow of water, and then the long term on how we can make sure that such a disaster does not happen again.
Lake Kanyaboli forms part of the system that comprises Yala Swamp and the 2 satellite lakes, Lake Namboyo and Lake Sare. And should the lake disappear, not only will the community be affected, but also institutions such as schools and homesteads that entirely depend on it as a source of water. Bramwell Bwire, KTN News, Kisumu.
Now, the National Council for Persons with Disabilities